So what's up guys, I'm back with a new video. Today I'm going to review your work finally. So the part 2 of Spit on Your Work is coming today. I looked through Discord to see how much work there is and I noticed it's quite a bit. So I hope this video won't turn out to be super long, but I'll try my best to keep it as tight as possible. So we're just going to jump right into Discord and start with the first render. So the first render is a ArcViz render. So pretty cool render. The first thing that I notice is the red tones, the reddish tones are very strong. The wood is very strong red, but that's pretty much it. The ceiling is quite dark, but to be honest, I don't really have feedback. This is very nice. So if you would have a real client, they would definitely be very happy. So actually not really anything to feedback. Here, mainly the lighting, I would definitely work on. So I'm not sure how you lit the scene, but to be honest, if you just have a simple area light over the car, so just make a simple area light, or actually let's go to Google real quick. If we Google, wait 1 second, if we Google automotive studio photography, probably spelled it completely wrong. So look at this. This is how most cars, like this is a typical standard light setup, is this big area light over the car. So sometimes less is more. So just make a simple light setup and probably your render will look better right away. Another thing I notice is that your car is maybe a bit rustical, so the reflections can't go smooth along the mesh. So here you see, so maybe also a mix of a bit cleaner mesh would also improve the look of the whole render. Otherwise, not too bad. So this is already much better. I think it's by the same guy, I guess. So this I like more. I definitely like your lighting setup way more. The car is also modeled way better. Very good. I don't know if you modeled it, but definitely this is a way better car. What I would feedback mainly is the tires are too dark and maybe the whole composition you could work on. But this is definitely better than the BMW. So here also same issue, the light. Yeah, it's mainly the light that annoys me, and also the mesh is a bit unclean. These are like the two main issues. But otherwise, I think it's fine. I'm not sure what you set on the material. So on the material, use a standard principal shader, turn down roughness, make it black. That's pretty much it. So if you did that, then yeah, it's good. So next image, this is very cool, very interesting, something I personally never have made. So also very cool. I wouldn't improve anything. It looks pretty cool. Like it looks a little bit like gamey, so a little bit like a game. I think it's because of the textures. Like here also very red, very highly saturated. I don't know. Maybe not enough dirt. I see there is dirt, but maybe not as realistic. I don't know. It looks a little bit gamey, but still I really like this atmosphere, and I really like the whole composition, the image. I really like this. It would be really cool to like have a character and like be able to play in this level. That would be pretty cool. So another render. I'm not even sure what car this is. Is this some kind of a concept maybe? Not sure actually, but it looks very cool. I really like the blue and the red light setup. That's very nice. What should I feedback? I actually really like this render. I would just leave it as it is. I actually really like it. Like I guess you could add details so the window looks more like a window, a bit more reflection. Maybe here there's a bit too much reflection, so a lot of squares and nothing really here. So maybe like a horizontal line along the car paint would look cool, like in the reflections, but otherwise pretty cool. So next one, so this of course is extremely good. I don't know, I have nothing to review, to be honest. I also really like this HDR. I think this is from HDR Haven. No, this is perfect. I think the carbon grid is maybe too big, but I don't know. Like actually it's really good. I don't even want to feedback anything. This also very good. It looks very clean, very crisp, super nice. I think the only thing that annoys me here is really the lighting. Even though the lighting isn't bad, like it makes sense, like it fits in a way. I don't know what it is, but sometimes also if you take photos, it's realistic light, but still it doesn't look as cool. So I'm not saying it's unrealistic. I just don't like the light too much. I think that's my main issue, but I really like the road. The road looks extremely good, like perfect. The sidewalk looks a little bit like a bump or normal map, maybe too much. So maybe the sidewalk could be improved texture wise, but otherwise, I don't know. This is also very, very good. The main issue I have is really the lighting, but that's just a tweaking thing. I don't know. There's no real rule on what a good lighting is. It's also kind of just taste. So also very good. Also extremely good. I have nothing to feedback. The car paint, I don't know if you can see it in the video after compression, but it looks really good with the flakes and also this. I don't know. Nothing to review. Perfect. A product. Very cool. So this also looks perfect, to be honest. I'm surprised that there's so many very, very good things right off the bat. So this is also perfect. So for a marketing shot, I think the pattern, like the kind of dirtiness, I know it's probably not dirt, but it kind of looks like dirt. This would be too much for a product shot, I think. I don't know about this ground texture. Almost looks like a photo. Huh, funny. But yeah, this is maybe too much grunge on it. And the other thing is a lot of marketing photos would probably not just place the watch like on a table and just lay it down and take a photo. So you could maybe have a better composition. So if we maybe Google just Rolex. Okay, so here you see they're just very like close up shots. So pretty boring, to be honest. But they're also closed up. I think rarely watches are taking photos like with the whole wristband, but I don't know. I'm not a watch guy. Maybe it's just right, but it just seems a little bit like it looks like I took a photo with the iPhone. So it's just the composition I don't like too much, but the model and the rendering and the materials and everything is perfect. Here, very interesting. So the main issue here is the car kind of pops out of the image. I think that's kind of the colors also. So the green, the orange, the blue is all very extreme, and it doesn't really fit to the car. But this is also something you just need practice. You just have to develop your eye for this and just practice. It's just a lot of tweaking work. I also know exactly what to review here. Maybe the shadow you could work on. So it's like in German it's called Kernschatten. So you have the center shadow and then you have Schlagschatten. It's the long shadow. So the Kernschatten is barely visible. It's this, but you could make it a bit more dominant maybe, and also have a Schlagschatten. It's called have like a bigger shadow if you have a sun in the upper left corner. I don't know, something more that it really that the car sits on the ground. Otherwise, the motion blur, I see you probably did in Photoshop, it's kind of going around the curve here. So the motion blur is not going with the car. Also the trees here. So just a lot of tweaking. Maybe look at other renders that have a similar look. Try to understand what they did different and why it looks better, and just try to learn and copy it. Yeah, not sure. Just try looking at other renders and just try learning from that. Interesting. So this looks way better, actually. The colors, I don't know if the colors are the same as in the motion blur, but here it fits way better. Actually, this image is way better. The shadow's better. No, this actually looks really good. Why does the other one not look that good? Yeah, is it two people? No, same person. Yeah, it's really the colors. Like this one is way better. So this is much, much better. Okay, also very interesting. Again, I don't want to say the same things over and over again, but here actually it's also the lighting that annoys me. I'm not sure what type of car paint this is, if it's like a wrap, if it's carbon, but I can't see the carbon because usually there's rarely matte car paints. I'm not sure about this car if it has this paint, but matte always looks a bit fake sometimes. Looks like 3D quickly. So if you wanted to go for matte, then do it, but it's very hard to render, I think. I just render a clear coat carbon or normal car paint. Yeah, the lighting isn't bad, but maybe could be improved a little bit. Also, maybe just look at real Bugatti renders. Yeah, just learn from that. So like I said in the beginning, look at real also automotive car studios and just try to copy the lighting. So also here a bit hard to explain like quickly like what to improve, but it's mainly the lighting. Like the car looks really nice. You could work on the disc brake texture a little bit. In the grille, this is a bit too bright, I think. The Bugatti logo has to be really visible on marketing shots. Stuff like that. The red is intensely red, maybe too red. Little things, little tweaking things. But the main thing that I don't like too much is really the lighting. But as mentioned in the other renders, it's a lot of tweaking, learning, and also taste. Very cool model. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like the model, I can't complain. Looks really nice. Like, of course, the caliper doesn't have any textures and stuff, so you could maybe add textures there. Otherwise, the lighting, so you've got a very harsh light, but I don't know if this is about the model or the render. Maybe it says no. So the model's really nice. The render could be improved. So this hard shadow is untypical. Usually you have soft shadows, and soft shadows means bigger light sources. So I don't know if you use the sunlight here or just a tiny light. I just use two big area lights, like left and right, or one on the top, but just a bit bigger. And also I wouldn't render it into a cube. You could take the edges and Control B or the bevel modifier and just bevel the edges so it's a bit rounder. That's the only thing I would improve. Here, yeah, I don't know, it's pretty cool. Also something I never make. Super cool. Of course, you could denoise this or render it in a higher quality, but otherwise I really like this. Nothing to critique. This, interesting. So rendered into a real photo. Always hard. So again, it's definitely the lighting. I'm not sure yet why I don't like the lighting. Like also looking at the other cars, I'm not sure what it is. It's also a hard day, like because this day where it was rendered or the photo taken is very like even light's always hard to render. I think like a directional light is always easier, but in this case there was a sun, I guess. No, these cars have shadows. Maybe that's the thing that's kind of missing. I'm not sure. I can't really see the shadow, the sun in the reflection. Maybe this is not a HDR, so a high dynamic range image. Maybe this is just a JPEG. Maybe that's what annoys me. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's just too flat. Maybe it's a JPEG instead of a high dynamic range image. And also I think the shadow is missing, like a big like sun shadow. It's hard to say, but this is a hard environment to render in, I think. But I think that's the thing that's missing. I think the whole light is not directional enough. It's kind of just the same lighting all over, but I think you need a bit more directional. So from the HDR, a bit brighter here, a bit less brighter here, and also maybe even have a shadow. Just my suggestion. Otherwise, the model is really cool. I'm also not sure if this is a concept design they came up with or if it's a real car. I've never seen this car, definitely. Very interesting design. Big spoiler. Also pretty cool. It's tire I would move a bit further out. But maybe it's just your style. I don't want to like change your style. It's definitely very interesting, very cool. Also like this, yeah, very cool. I don't know if these are the mirrors. Pretty crazy. Yeah, pretty cool. Just the lighting. Yeah, okay. This, you could probably sell this to Lamborghini. I have nothing to critique here. Perfect. So here you see the Schlagschatten, the Kernschatten, everything's perfect. This is really good. Yeah, this is perfect. Maybe some reflections are too hard, but it depends. Otherwise, I really like this. I really like how the wheel is tilted. Everything. Very good. I really like the floor. Maybe the floor is not high res enough. It seems a bit low res compared to the cracks like in the rock and the car. But otherwise, perfect. Like really good. This is very, very good. And if you modeled this, then even better. That's funny. This is one of my favorite waters, actually. I've never seen them in the big bottles. Yeah, this is like a classic Amazon rendering. This is very nice. Very good. Maybe the only thing to improve, these light sources, maybe make them bigger, but this just tastes. Some clients like them tighter, some like them a bit wider. It depends. Maybe you could have some kind of reflection on the label, so you kind of can determine how reflective this label is. That's like the only thing I'm noticing here. So just so I can, or the client can understand what material this paper is. So some kind of reflection maybe on that. But otherwise, I really like it. You could definitely earn money with this and sell this, I'm pretty sure. Here, very good. You can definitely also sell this. Only thing I like, almost looks like that it's a little bit bubbly. I'm not sure, like that there's distortion in the camera. I'm not sure. That's the only thing that annoys me. Maybe the focal length is too low. So like for product shots, I go like 85 or 100 or even 150 sometimes, or 200 maybe. Depends. I personally like this telelens style of product photography, but again, this is also a taste. Some like this wide angle. You could do one thing maybe, actually, I'm noticing. So move the camera up. So the center of the camera is either here or maybe at the lid, and then tilt shift the camera back down. So in the camera settings, there's like X and Y shift. So move the camera up, look straight, and then shift it down. And it will look a bit cooler because you look on the top side of the glass a bit more. I think that maybe will improve the image a little bit. So using tilt shift. No idea what this is, but this looks really cool. Nothing to critique. I have no idea what it is. Oh, it's from the same guy. Very interesting. Very cool. Is it like a PC? I have no idea. But it looks pretty cool. I wonder if this is a Blender Smoke. Very cool. No idea what it is, but cool. Okay, not sure what this is. I guess a screenshot. It's fine. This is very, very good lighting. I assume it's just an HDR, but one HDR sometimes is more than enough. So super nice. I really like this. The only thing maybe you could have like edge maps a bit more. I'm not sure if you already have edge maps, but maybe like have more tear, like more scratches around the edges. So you could use Substance Painter or Substance whatever Designer. I think can also do edge maps. You can also do edge maps in Blender. You can bake M into, or actually flip the normals and then bake M into occlusion and then use that map as an edge map. I don't know if you understood what I just said, but just Google edge map and you can improve how the textures, like where it's worn more and where it's worn less. Just an idea. So Substance Painter is probably the best choice. What do we have here? Also something I never do. Very cool. Very atmospheric. So super cool. Once again, lighting, I think, can be improved. I really like the atmosphere and the colors. I wouldn't improve that. I would keep it the same. But you could maybe improve the lighting. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's also just the texture of this grassy, polygon-looking rocks. Maybe just have more grass. You can also use hair for grass or use like a lot of like actual geometry grass. But maybe that's actually it. Maybe if you have grass here, maybe the lighting is fine. Maybe it's just a tree. Yeah, maybe it's really just the grass. Maybe you can get, maybe the lighting is fine. Maybe it's just the detail. Like these windows are very, very like just square, just like punched in. Maybe add a bit more detail or that there's something in the house a little bit. You can also have an image of something in the house. You don't have to actually model it. Something. I think it's just lacking a little bit of detail here and there. I think that's maybe it. Maybe not the light. Okay, here also crazy render. This is perfect. This is also something you could definitely earn money with and sell. Perfect. Like, of course, once again, you could improve like tiny things. This grill is maybe too black for automotive company because they want the client to see every part. So that's like these marketing shots are not just about, they shouldn't just look cool. They should also explain how the car looks. So they should explain the shape. They should explain the materials. So these renders, these studio renders usually represent the shapes and the materials, so everything has to be perfectly visible. So the Pirelli, so if this is a real sponsor, of course Pirelli will want their name to be shown, stuff like that. Otherwise really nice, also super nice, really good. Maybe the P1 is a bit too stretched. I don't know how it is on the real P1, but maybe this is too stretched for automotive brand. They might complain. Maybe these reflections are too strange. And when I say reflections are strange, don't start tweaking crazy light setups and never finding the perfect light setup. Actually, automotive renderings are usually like built of 10 or 15 or 20 different renders and different lights, and then they paint them in Photoshop. So if I say this part has reflections that maybe need to get changed, don't change the whole light setup. Change the light setup focused on that part, render it out, and brush it in. That's usually how you do it. So I don't know what it's called. I guess it's called, like in photography, it's usually called light painting, but I bet there's some kind of a name of stacking. I'm not sure what the name is, but yeah, don't try to get the perfect light setup. It's usually impossible. Yeah, so if you see a part that looks strange, only render that strange part and add it in Photoshop or something. Otherwise, perfect. Definitely you could also like earn money with that. Okay, here's a car video. So we can turn on the sound. All right, hope it's not copyrighted song. Maybe leave it off. Okay, very interesting. Okay, one thing I can say right off the bat, don't ease in and out the reflection. So it eases out. I would just have it linear. Just let it go over the car and cut into the next scene. Don't let the curve ease in and ease out. That's the only thing I don't like here. Very cool light setup. Like this would be a cool render, actually. Very emotional render. Not a typical marketing render, but very emotional, super cool. Also very cool. Yeah, very nice. I really like the camera, like how the camera is driving. It's very nice. Maybe you didn't even ease out the light. Maybe it just looked like it eased because of the shape of the car. I'm not sure, but it looked a bit strange. Very cool camera drives. Maybe more depth of field here, especially in dark scenes in real life. Also, the depth of field is automatically high because you have a bigger aperture to let in more light. So this is an unusual look to have a dark render with barely any depth of field. I would add, at least in this shot, more depth of field. Yeah, of course, there's like flickering from the rendering, but yeah, I understand you don't want to render forever. Yeah, perfect. This is like a rendering as an animation. I really like it. Oh, also very cool. Hmm. Very nice. It's also a really cool shot. Maybe more motion blur, but I don't know. His personal taste is also very nice. Is like, do you render in 60 frames? Looks so smooth. Very good. Nothing really to improve. The only thing to improve, if you would work for AMG, like watch real AMG videos, they have like these rules on styles and angles you have to show. So here you can kind of notice that it wasn't made for AMG because you're kind of being creative, which is great. But you'll notice that they have like this kind of a corporate identity per car. And they also have this in general for AMG, but also for the GTR. Yeah, just maybe look at real AMG videos, like official ones, and try learning their style and copying their style. So I think quality-wise, you're good enough. The only thing that's missing is maybe understanding the brand's style. Maybe understand that, and I think that will instantly really improve your work. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, really good. So also pretty cool. So very empty. It looks a little bit gamey, not very realistic, which is fine. Depends on what you were aiming for. Also very cool. Not sure what to critique here because it's like okay, what I can say, this is something a Lamborghini would never publish. So this is a type of render they would not do and not make. But still, this is not a bad render. It's just something that doesn't fit the brand. But still, it's pretty cool. But if I would review some stuff, I wouldn't leave this empty. I would add a bit more so it doesn't look like an asset collection that you just like put there, set there, and put the car there. Maybe you could add a road and don't have infinite tiles on the floor. But just like these suggestions, I don't know. You don't have to do it, of course. Otherwise, I like how it's this foggy, but maybe you can have somehow more noise in the fog. So I think that's maybe why it looks like a game, because it's just like the Z buffer, you just have like distance fog, but maybe look at real fog of like cars in fog. There's like way more noise and stuff in the fog. That's maybe something you can improve. It's just the look of the fog. Yeah. Otherwise, the lighting is fine. Maybe you could like color grade a bit more, but I don't know. It's pretty cool. Or is this Eevee even? If this is Eevee, then it's really cool. Maybe this is Eevee. Mm-hmm. Is this a render? I'm not sure. If this was a render, it's solid. Okay. Very cool. Main issue, lighting. Keep it simple. This is too much. Too much craziness here. Way too much craziness. Keep simple big area lights. I can look straight through the grille. So what like all cars need are black bodies. So the problem is if you have like the production ready car, usually you can look through stuff with like backface culling and stuff like that. You can look through cars, even through the production cars. So they use, in 3D, they use like black bodies. So they model black body covers. So super low poly masks into the car, like covers that cover up holes. So what you can do here is build a black body, you would call it, so you can't look through the grille, so the car looks way heavier and more solid. Of course, there's no tire profile, you probably know, stuff like that. You can add a roughness map onto the tire also, like some rubber roughness map will look way more realistic instantly. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just on a plane, but you probably know that. Yeah, so like with the black body, I see there's some shading on the license plate. It looks a bit round, so keep that flat. Stuff like that. I don't know what's up with the rim here. It looks like it crashed. This is also maybe another thing I can mention. This type of render, at least for all companies that I worked for, they would never do. You never show the profile of the tire into the camera like this. You always show the rim. It's either 15 degrees or 33 degrees tilt in the wheels, and never the tire towards the camera because the car looks kind of weak. And also on real cars, the tires like start tilting to the side, and it gives the car a really weak look. So that's something you don't do. But that's just like a rule. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but if you would like have like real jobs, they'd probably not like that. Also very interesting, also something I never do. Super cool. Nothing to review. Nothing to review. It's very cool. I don't know. It's just cool as it is. I don't know what to improve. I really like it. It's cool. Yeah, very cool. I like that one. Oh, this is interesting. This is actually kind of how I started 3D. So when I started 3D and like had my little first jobs, I did infographic renderings. So like explain videos or mainly images actually. So stuff like this in this style. So this low poly style and explaining something. I don't know how a volcano like erupts or something and explain it in this style. I did that for some magazines and stuff like that. So I really like this style. This is also worth practicing. This style is a very popular style. A lot of people really like this. And I also like this. I have absolutely nothing to review. It's perfect. Maybe what would be cool if the scene has like a bit more, I don't know how much thought is in here. There's probably a lot of thought, but maybe like some reason, you know, like you want to say something with this image. That's like the only thing that would maybe make it cooler, but it looks really good. Like rendered wise and modeled wise, I really like this look. Also the orthographic look, I really like it. It's very nice. I also really like the shadows and also how he did the water isn't perfectly reflective. I don't know, it's really good. Very nice. Yeah, also very nice. Probably sell this model. What is this? Looping animation. Okay, okay. Ooh. Okay. Very interesting. Very cool. Like, I really like this. Also something I never do that I should probably do. Very creative. I really like this. Only thing I don't like is how hard the animation is. Like, it just clunks in, like stops instantly. Here I would actually ease a little bit, but that's just personal preference. But it looks really cool, actually. So nothing really to review here. Okay, very interesting. What can I review here? Something's, I'm not sure what it is. Is this a real photo like in the background? But somehow the car, I don't know what it is, but somehow the car looks misplaced. Like something's wrong with I think the camera is matched wrong. Like I think the focal length is off with the real image. Something's weird here. I think if you would set a cube here, I think it wouldn't really fit onto the road. The rims need more light. They're a bit too dark in the gray. I like the car paint. I would definitely add some kind of a clear coat. Also look at real rear lights. They usually aren't just like this bright one-colored emission red. They're a bit more complex. Maybe you could improve on that because they're like so dominant here. Yeah, clear coat. I'm not sure if I said that. Definitely add a clear coat. And if you want to cheat, add motion blur. The image will instantly look better because you can just hide stuff. But otherwise, I like the colors. Looks good. Not sure what the source image was and how it looked before and everything, but it's pretty good. I think mainly the car is misplaced, clear coat is missing, rims too dark, stuff like that, and the rear light has to look more realistic because it's so much in the focus of the render. Nice. Okay, I guess this is similar. Interesting. So I see here, this is very interesting. It seems like the camera motion blur, I'm not sure how you added it. I guess the camera is moving like this, but usually the camera moves with the car. So it's basically parented to the car almost, not 100%, but even 100% would look better. I don't know what style you were going here, what you were going for here, but the motion blur looks a bit off because like there's no motion blur here, but the car is in motion blur. Depends on what you were aiming for. It's definitely an interesting image. But if you want the typical motion blur shot, like have the camera move with the car, because then the road is motion blurred and not the car. But still very interesting. Yeah, maybe try that. Okay. Also very interesting. Looks like GTA. Pretty cool. Yeah, only thing to review, maybe lighting. Like this is really like GTA lighting. Maybe have like, I don't know. Yeah, the sun comes like straight in. I guess it's a cool lighting. Maybe the shadows aren't strong enough from this harsh light. Maybe the light source is a bit too big for like a sun going down. I don't know. Yeah, the thing what I personally don't like, so if you know, like when you have a phone or like a normal camera that flashes and the light comes from the front, It looks like really weird and like cheap, you know, like a cheap look if the flash comes from where the camera comes. And I think this is what I don't like about this lighting here, is because the camera and the light almost comes from the same side. If the light would come from the side somehow, maybe through the windows, I don't know, or just turn the whole composition, so move the camera somewhere else, and the light comes more from the side, I think it would look better in my personal preference. But yeah, that's like the only thing. Yeah, this guy I already know. I don't know if any one of you know these his renders. Like this guy is kind of popular even, I think. Yeah, crazy. I don't know. Like what should I review here? Like this next level. Like I've never seen renders like this. They're very, very unique. Super high quality. Like perfect. Like there's nothing to review. Perfect. Super cool. Yeah, I don't know. This is just very creative. What should I review here? I don't know. It looks like you used edge maps. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I really like this. It's very creative. I don't know. Nothing to review. It's very cool. Very inspiring. Let's see what this is. 44 seconds. Show reel. Okay. Cool. Oh, interesting. 2D. Okay. I'm not sure if I like his walking animation too much, but it's something I can't do at all, so it's better than what I could do. So, still pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Probably make some money with these type of stuff. You can probably sell them. Also very interesting. Oh. Interesting. Ooh, this is extremely good. Wait, is this some default scene? But the light, ooh, very good. Yeah, here I don't like the light again because I think the light came from the camera side, but there were definitely some very good stuff here. Ah, very interesting. Huh. Ooh, this is very nice. Nothing to review. Maybe you could have something like in the clear coat. I know it's not a clear coat, and I shouldn't talk about like clear coats on a human thing, but the clear coat is maybe too clean. So maybe have some little bit of roughness or bump or something. So I think these reflections aren't this extreme, but that's the only thing. Otherwise, extremely good. Nothing to review. Okay. Very interesting. Also something I never do. I don't know. I also have nothing to critique. I don't know. I just want to leave it as it is, you know? Like, I don't want to destroy your guys' creativity because that's the worst. I just leave it as it is. I really like this. It's like an artwork. Actually, today I also went to a art convention. I looked like at old art from the 18th century. It was super interesting to see. And of course, like some guys that painted some stuff, I was like, they aren't good, but still it was like just so creative and like open-minded, and like the colors they chose were just so good, like just so open. So I really liked some of their stuff. So something that isn't rendered well or drawn well doesn't mean it's bad. Like sometimes it's even better because it's not following rules and it's like being free, which is very valuable these days, because following rules is easy once you've learned them, but being free isn't that easy. And I wish I would be more free. So this is super nice. Also, once again, something I never do. I should sculpt more, and I don't know where this was done. Probably sculpted. Super cool. Of course, you could probably add more detail, like around the ear, and just add a bit more detail, like his eyes look a bit squishy, like not round. Little things, and maybe have like some edge here, like going to the horns. But I really don't want to review much because this is like creative work. Looks really good. I like it. So what is this? So crazy light, super Japanese Tokyo Drift style. Very cool. I guess my internet is dying, but I guess you can kind of see the render. Too bad it's not bigger. Oh, this doesn't seem to work. But you can kind of see it. What should I review? I really like the style. Once again, this is not a brand thing. I don't think a brand would ever render a car in this atmosphere, but still super cool. I really like the colors. This would also be like a great wallpaper. It's hard to see, but the road looks pretty nice. Yeah, I would just leave it as it is. Looks pretty good. Maybe I think the thing I like the least are these white doors. They're maybe too white and too square compared to the rest. But otherwise, I don't know, looks really good. I like it. Yeah, perfect. Only thing, if you look at like real product photography stuff, they rarely have a shadow like this. They usually just have a very tight shadow. Otherwise, perfect. You could maybe add some more contrast. So this is, I don't know if it's black plastic, but like, I don't know if you look at this battery, it's probably hard to see. But like your plastic doesn't look as black as it probably should be. That's it. What is this? So super nice. What you definitely need is some, so I really like the water drops, but what you also need is a roughness map. So, you know, when you, it's hard to say, I don't have anything here, I don't have an example, but, or let's Google real quick. So if I Google maybe even Sprite, so there's like this haze on it. Let's see if we find a good image, because sometimes the official ones also aren't that good. Maybe here. So it's hard to say. That's not what I mean. You can kind of, also hard to say. But what I mean is like this haze on the bottle. It seems like Sprite seems to like clean bottles more. Okay, maybe not the perfect example. Let me Google again. Maybe render. I don't know. No, then we don't find the right. Our product shot. It's hard to say. Actually, it seems like the official stuff also doesn't have that effect, what I'm talking about, as much. But you kind of see that around the normal rounded drops, there's just a bit more haze. So it's hard to say. I don't know what it's called. It probably has a name. Okay. Maybe here you can see it. So it's not just drops. It has like this, I don't know what it's called, but like it's like there's more. You need like a roughness map. So yours is just like perfectly dry and has single drops. What you need is a roughness map, some grunge roughness map. It looks like there's like a foggy, wet surface. So when you swipe over, your finger's wet. You know, that's kind of what's missing. The drips can have maybe some different shapes, not just round drips. The ice is very blue. I don't know if you wanted that, but it's pretty cool. So it's pretty cool with the bubbles. Yeah. Like the composition isn't a typical like Sprite shot, so you can already see like on the Coca-Cola shots they have like I never worked like for Coca-Cola or Sprite or anyone, but they usually have like very clean like product shots. Yeah, hard to say. They always have random stuff, but yours is a bit like I don't know, it's hard to say. Like you also can't read Sprite, just little things. You can maybe aim more for like a marketing shot like this. So where you really see the bottle and you're trying to sell the bottle. Maybe that's it. Otherwise pretty cool. Maybe like depth of field is good, but somehow I don't like it here. Not sure. Maybe you also need a roughness map on this aluminum, actually. Maybe just roughness in general, like roughness maps. And also the texture quality compared to the render quality is too low on the Sprite texture. But yeah, it's little things. Just look at real Sprite stuff. Like just render this. This is gonna be easy. Just render this one. I can't open it. I'm glad I can't, because that would be very hard to render. Here you can see. Yeah, that would be very hard to render. That would be a pretty fun project. This would also be pretty cool. Something like this would also be pretty cool. So this is super like typical for marketing. You already see like what they're doing, like this crazy stuff. So always look at what the big guys are doing and just try copying their style, and that's how you're gonna learn. Also super cool. So it looks super realistic, except the strawberries I don't like. Maybe have also more like a telelens. I think it's a bit too wide angle for such a small object. This is super good. It's not very commercial like with the whole back like full of stuff. Commercial like is probably more like a white background, or maybe the color of the red, you know, like maybe what I'm having in mind is they always have pretty good marketing shots, but maybe on Google Image it's always hard to find, because you just find like the boring stuff. Yeah, it's all pretty boring. But just like, just Google, try to find good renders of similar products, and then you'll get ideas. Like this just looks a bit like you took a photo with your phone. It's not really like you're not really trying to sell this product, but maybe you don't want anyways. Maybe you just want to render this so it looks cool, then it looks fine. Otherwise, maybe the wood could be more crisp, so have like a better wood texture. Just go to like textures.com or whatever, get a little bit better wood texture. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, super nice. So of course you can see the polygons. It's probably work in progress. Yeah, very cool. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I have nothing to review. I like this. Very artistic. Also super cool. I'm not sure if this is rendered. If this is rendered, this is extremely cool. Like with the hair, is this really rendered? If this is really rendered, then this is very cool. I like his muscles. Very cool. Of course, you could render this in a higher quality, but I really like the style because it is a game, so I really like how it's rendered. So I really like this. Pretty cool. I don't know who made this. If the same person made this render, I don't know. Maybe it looks like it because this guy is pretty cool. This could probably go viral like on Reddit if you haven't posted it yet. And this guy, what the fuck? This guy, it's very creepy. Yeah, you guys should probably like give these guys simple rigs, or it's the same guy again. Give him like here, yeah. Give these guys like some rigs. Well, also interesting. This guy is pretty cool. This could be like a really cool game character. Also very nice with the face. A bit hard to see. Ah, here you can see. It's pretty cool with the super realistic face. Also very interesting. Okay, a skull. Also very interesting. Something I've never made. So this is better than the last render, actually, because this is more like the marketing style. I really like the ice. I don't know if this is rendered or a photo, but the ice looks very, very good. Here you also have the wetness. This I personally like more. So, and you see the name of the brand, so soda, whatever it's, I guess it's just normal soda, but this is way more like a real product shot that you would do. So I really like this. Oh, super crazy. I remember when I started Minecraft, probably 10 years ago, I think already, where the guy built this ship in Minecraft. I wonder if anyone know that video, probably. Very old video of a crazy guy rebuilding this in Minecraft. Okay, what is this? Okay. Yeah. So extremely good. I think it's just a little fine tweaking. Like here, it's just like, I don't know, like a little bit unnatural movement, but it's hard to say what it is. It's just practice, I guess. I'm also not the best animator. It's just what I'm noticing. I can't really tell you what to do better. And the other thing, graphics wise, I really like the environment, but I think what you could do is add way more motion blur to not just hide stuff. And you have motion blur, I see that, but I think have even more motion blur. But maybe you also want to see the drone. Maybe you had like an intention why you don't have more motion blur. Because I think you could hide a lot of this. Like this shot with a lot of motion blur could look way cooler. That's like the only thing. Otherwise, very cool. Maybe it seems like the city is a bit too tight. I think like usually houses are a bit further apart. It seems very tight. But maybe that was your intention. I don't know. Looks very cool. I really like it. I like the old Mustang. And it also has like broken. It's also very cool. Ah, moon. I made a moon once. Super cool. Yeah, perfect. It's not that hard. For the people that don't know, NASA has the official scans of the moon, like the textures, the height maps, so you can get real height maps of the moon and other planets. Definitely go to NASA and look for those textures. You can make crazy renders. So super cool. Ah, really nice light. Maybe too clean for my taste, like the streaks. Just personal preference, and maybe you would expect a headlight here as well, like a bit more glow like this. But I really like it. You can't look into the windows, of course. The windows are a bit too, like, not shiny. Like, they need less roughness. I like these drag strip tires. Unusual for a Lamborghini, so it's a very high Lamborghini, but you can do whatever you want. Looks pretty nice. I like it. Maybe you could add, like, a sidewall texture, so like Pirelli or whatever, and some roughness on the tire itself. Yeah, but otherwise, pretty cool. I like it. And yeah, don't just add emission onto the light. Maybe there's nothing behind this mesh, I don't know. But don't just make it white. It would look way better if you had like a real headlight. And this is probably also not white. In real life, probably yellow or red, depending on Europe or United States. Or whatever other country. Yeah, still very cool. So what is this? It's very small. Let's make it bigger. Okay, crazy. Is this even 3D? I guess this is a still image render. Yeah, very cool. Nothing to critique. It's very inspiring, very cool. Not sure how it was made, but very cool. I have nothing to critique because this is like a topic I'm never like confronted with. So it's just super cool. I don't want to say perfect, but it's pretty much perfect. Like the only thing that's not perfect here is once again the brand and the marketing style. So whatever the brand wants. So it's more like a concept thing that maybe could get improved. And also the perfume seems to not be full. Like you see the whole like straw, but the perfume just goes to here. I don't know, little things, but the bubbles and everything, the rendering, the light, very, very good. Maybe one thing, it also depends on the client. The light isn't symmetric, but that's maybe what you aimed for. I know that some clients really like the symmetric look, also in the lighting, but that's just personal taste. Nothing really to critique, just something to keep your eyes open for. Otherwise, yeah, very good. You can definitely use this like in a portfolio, send it to clients. I don't know, like if you're already working in this area, but definitely already looks very good. And if you're not working in this area, you probably could. Yeah, really, really cool design. I have nothing to review. It's super cool how it's like, yeah, we can like see the underground, the dirt and the rocks. Yeah, perfect. I don't know if it's the same guy from before, but perfect. Very, very cool. Really like the style. Okay. I'm not sure what's happening with the mesh here, or if it's your shader or your normal map, or I don't know what this is. It looks a bit crazy, but maybe that's part of your style and intention. I'm not sure if it's like a mistake or intention, but it definitely gives it a very aggressive look to have this jagged line. Once again, not a marketing shot, but a super cool shot. So I just really like the look. I really like the light. So here I really like this light setup, the simple light setup. One thing you could do, so in real life, there's never perfectly square lights. So if you Google, I don't know, I'm like Googling spontaneous once again, but if you Google softbox and you look at a softbox, maybe a flashing softbox, I already thought that we won't find a good photo of one, but you kind of can imagine that at least here, the softbox isn't perfectly white. So your square, it's hard to see. There's no good examples, but the square, like the white square, is never perfectly square, like has rounded edges, and also how the light is not perfectly one white. It's kind of like there's something there. You see like the fabric, you see the folds a little bit in the fabric, and you would see that in the reflections, you would see that on a ceiling. That would make it a bit more realistic. So have it just a bit more realistic looking real softbox, like from the white texture. So it's not perfect white. I think that's the only thing. Next, yeah, really cool. I know that NVIDIA has really good renderings anyways. Let's see what they have. No, not. Where is not their real page here? So let's see. So perfect render here. Perfect. See, you see the materials. You see perfectly. You see every part. This is a perfect render. This is really good. Really like the background. So here again, this is also very good. But you can see the bloom and like. Actually, I do have bloom. I'm surprised they have bloom. But bloom is always a dangerous area. Usually looks cheap. You always have to watch out for bloom. The material, I'm not sure on the 2080 what this material was. Or I have one here, but I can't see it. It's on my PC. But look here how really this looks perfect. Like really maybe focus on the materials a bit more. But otherwise really cool. I really like it. Maybe look at the real NVIDIA stuff, what they have, because they always have really good stuff. But it's already very, very close. It's very, very good already. Not much to improve. You can like tweak a little bit, maybe improve the materials a tiny bit. This, I'm not sure what color it has in real life, but this has to be like in focus. And also like GeForce RTX is like flipped. I don't know, just little things that you could maybe improve. I also see the shading maybe is wrong because this is probably a flat or kind of flat surface. You can use in Blender weighted normals, the modifier. So this is a bit cleaner. Little things. But in general, it's very good. So here, your metallic car paint is very metallic. I don't know what PC you have. Of course, the image is very noisy. You could denoise, but you guys know that. Probably it's obvious. Yeah, what to improve here? Like just look at professional renders and just try to copy their style. That's what you can mainly improve. The model seems to be pretty cool. The rims are maybe too simple, but also personal preference. The spoiler, you can do whatever you want, but it probably would look better in black or carbon. And also the splitters or whatever they're called, the fins are also usually carbon and not car paint. Little things, hard to say, but also very cool. And this, pretty cool. Nothing to review or feedback. Very interesting. Also very inspiring. Very cool. Really like this. Probably inspire a lot of other people as well. Whoa, this is crazy. Also nothing to review. This looks really good. Automotive stuff. Okay. Looks like perfume also. I assume it's perfume. This looks really cool. Very, very cool. Also super cool. I guess just a cool shader with noise and clouds and stuff. Very cool. Okay. I'm not sure if this is a special grenade from some game or something, but I really like the texturing. The only thing you could have is maybe some dirt between stuff. I see you already have that. You already know that. It's really good. I really like it. Very cool. Oh, he said spit hard. Okay. What can I find? So I'm not sure if this is a game asset or if you're rendering it. So if you would render this, the texture isn't like tight enough. It's a bit like too blurry, maybe not like crisp enough. So like real metal would just be like a bit more crisp. This seems like a bit smooth and a bit blurry, maybe like a game asset. Like this was an extremely good game asset, but maybe not an extremely good render. Here the rust is very, very good. Like the texturing work definitely is really good. I really like the leather. It's really hard to roast it. It's this ring that I don't like that much. I think it's too bumpy and too blurry and too smooth. Even though it's quite dirty, but I think it needs a little bit of this like hard stuff. I don't know, like a bit more crisp stuff. And also this metal area is a bit too smooth and clean, I think. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty good. Okay, very interesting. Okay, I guess it's him in 3D. Pretty cool. Of course, this jagged line isn't that good. I guess it's Eevee. You can upscale the... I don't know if sampling gets rid of this. You have to look. I'm not sure what setting it is. And almost never use Eevee. But yeah, if you would use cycles, quality would instantly be better. But yeah, that's the only thing. Pretty cool. Okay, very interesting. A dying Audi. Yeah, which I review here. Super interesting, super creative. I've never rendered a car in water. Very cool. I guess you could improve the water a little bit, so you can maybe also look into the water a little bit, but it's pretty cool. Black headlights, maybe that was your intention. Black windshield, maybe also your intention, because I already see the wheel looks very, very good. And if the wheel looks this good, maybe this was intention, should keep it black. I don't know, but yeah, very interesting. Cool to see. Okay, super crazy. I like to drift something like this. So once again, very noisy render. You can use a denoiser, of course, you probably know. Super cool rims. Yeah, very cool car. Really like the style. I really like this with the kind of modern glowing X's instead of like just the black, like the, I don't know what we would call it. I don't know what the name for these things are, but yeah, pretty cool that you made like a headlight out of it that like glows. So pretty cool idea. Very interesting material. If this should be carbon, you can definitely improve this. I've got a super simple carbon video, so just use carbon textures from textures.com. That will like, that just works like right away if you don't want to make like a complicated carbon. So maybe do that if this is carbon. Otherwise, if this is your look that you intended, then of course it's really cool. So yeah, very cool. Cool to see. Yeah. Perfect car paint. Like this car paint looks extremely good. These headlights look like photos. Like they're like extremely good. Actually everything is perfect. The only thing is the car isn't sitting on the road as well as it could. I think it's because the light gets under the tire. I think I'd rather kill this light or maybe move it somewhere else somehow and have a little bit of shadow under the tire so the car sits better. And also here, same deal. Here, I think the car has to sit better. And I think also another thing with the light, here the light gets under the car, or maybe it's a photo, I don't know. But here you need a shadow. Like you need the sitting shadow of the car. So under the car it should be dark, so this whole car just looks heavy and it looks like it's sitting there. That's the only thing. Your tires are very, very clean, but then again, like an old timer like this is probably perfectly cleaned. So no, I wouldn't really critique that. It's really just that the car isn't really sitting on the ground because of the missing shadow a little bit. That's the only thing. But like the headlights are extremely good, and the car paint and everything. It almost doesn't even look like a render. Very, very good. Like extremely good. very good. Okay, what is this? Oh, the video is getting very long. Okay, interesting. Looks pretty good. Oh, this is very good. It's pretty. This animation is so good. If you made the running cycle, it's very good. Yeah. I guess you can do it like this. Oh, this looks better than the scenes before. I know that the standard Tesla rims definitely aren't this chromy. They are like aluminum. That's the only thing I just noticed. Looked a bit cheap if they're like chrome, I think. Yeah, here the camera is too tight on the... Oh, this is your best scene so far. Oh, this looks extremely good. Once again, I'm annoyed by your chrome rims. But that was your best scene so far. I can't stop it at the right part. This is my favorite part. Very, very good. Maybe too long, this scene. Very cool. Oh, cool with the breakdown also. Yeah, super nice. That's cool. Yeah, so the chrome rims annoyed me a little bit. That's pretty much it, to be honest. Little things. Maybe the car paint, I'm not a huge fan of. Maybe it's the light, I'm not sure. But it's very, very good. Yeah, maybe here there's not enough motion blur. You could have more motion blur, I think, and a bit more shake to the camera. There's a modifier, and when you animate the curve, there's a modifier on the T tab or N or T, whatever, on the right side. There's a noise modifier, so the camera shakes a little bit. You could add that. You're probably not going to render this again, but for the future. So yeah, it's super cool. Perfect. Maybe here the metal and the wood you can improve, so the texturing of the barrel you could improve, but everything like the top part is perfect. You could definitely sell this. Clients would be super happy with a render like this. What is this? Okay, interesting. Simple. Turning, yeah, interesting. Maybe you're a beginner, I assume. I don't know. Or I think, I'm not sure if you're a beginner. But also very cool. Not sure what to review here. I guess just bring in more movement into stuff, you know, into the tree, into the heart, into the human. Just improve the life of the whole world, so it's not just the heart. I don't know. Otherwise, you could probably just make a still render. The still render is probably almost cooler than the animation in this case. Here, theoretically perfect, but liquid is always very hard, so you see how it's like kind of polygoning around here, or whatever you would call it. So you kind of see that it's like simulated. The shader here, it's very clear. Here it's very thick. I don't know, maybe you can improve the shader. I'm not a fan of bloom. I would just kill bloom. I'm not a fan of the background, but the simple stuff. But generally, it's very, very good. This is extremely good. I wonder if this is like shader or something. Like the mountains. I mean, I wonder how you made the mountains. Very cool. Maybe too round, like here and there, and like it doesn't match the lines. Like if it's really a shader, maybe the mountain could play a bit more with the lines, so the lines also define the shape a bit more. Like here, but super cool. I really like the lighting. The lighting looks really cool. Yeah, more wine. Super cool. I still don't like the barrels. Maybe just more depth of field, so you see less of the barrels. That probably fixes it. I really like the lighting of the bottle and stuff. This looks really good. Like the bottle itself, really good. Maybe this is too far in the shadow because they want to sell their wine. They don't want their label to be in the shadow. Little things. Yes, super cool. I would tilt his wheels because how did he drive there without like sliding his wheels or like turning in and turning back? Maybe, but I think it would look cooler if he like turns in, so the wheels are like turned, so he like kind of turns into where he's standing right now. Yeah, super cool. I'm not sure if the size is correct, because if these are parking slots, this is a very big Bugatti. That's maybe the only thing. It's maybe a bit too big. And this is this classic, it almost looks like the filmic color grading from Blender. I really don't like the filmic gray look. Maybe, I don't like this gray. Maybe have more clouds. You could Photoshop the sky out. You can have a gray sky, but maybe a bit more cloudy. I don't know, personal preference. Otherwise, pretty cool. Also very cool. Of course, missing windows, missing materials. You know, it has to be chrome and stuff. The floor needs a way more higher res texture, but it's still pretty interesting. I think there's also a HDR Haven Night HDR. At night, it's hard anyways to render. Interesting. Clear coat. Of course, you need little stuff. Just missing. It looks like it's work in progress. Ah, it's from Nico. Or is it? I think it is. Or is it from Mr. Fresh? I'm not sure who made it, but yeah, it looks unfinished. But still pretty cool. Interesting that you're aiming for a night shot. It's very rare, but can look very cool. Okay. Super cool texturing. I see you probably know Substance Painter, as I can see on the edges. Yeah, perfect. I don't know. Maybe the tires are too clean compared to this, but still, it's super cool. I really like the design. If you thought of this design, this is a super cool design. I also like the lighting. Very cool. You can maybe have some more lighting on the rims here. I don't know. Maybe the shadows are too hard. Little things, but otherwise super cool. Here, so here again, typical light coming from behind the camera, I really don't like. And that's why the camera position looks way better on the right, but actually the light looks better on the left, even though it's the same light, just because the light comes from the side. So I'd rather have the light come from the side. So if you have this shot, maybe just angle the sun so it comes from the side, and maybe you have some shadow, I think it will instantly look way better. Okay. Wow. This is the love tree thing again, I guess. Very crazy. Very interesting. Definitely inspiring. Okay, a headlight. Ah, very cool. This looks very good. Also with the chromatic aberration or whatever you would call the color fringing. Super nice. Maybe this flare is a bit too crisp compared to the rest, but super nice. Maybe you need an orange peel on the car paint, so slight bumps in the car paint. And maybe this plastic is too smooth, because plastic always has this slight plastic bump, you know, and I think it would give the whole image maybe more detail if you would have like a noise bump in the plastic, maybe not on the grill, but on the backside plastic, or rougher. But yeah, I don't know. Very good. Okay, super cool. Very untypical for Audi, this kind of a shot. So especially the R7 would never be rendered in an angle like this, but still very interesting. I like the environment, and I really like how the colors play with each other, and it's like this one world. I don't like the reflection in the car paint here, so you could have a cooler light setup, I think. And mainly, so if we go R7, I bet they have some marketing stuff online, I assume, somewhere. Not on Mobile, not Autoscout, not a used one. Here. So here, you see. This is Audi. See, this is not Audi. That's like the thing. It's just like a marketing thing. And also for everyone like looking now, see, it looks like they have a glossy grille. I saw this was also, yeah, Audi R8. I'm not sure if this is the wrong material then. It looks like they have glossy plastic for the grille, and this is probably matte. I don't know. So yeah, you see, this is what Audi does. It's extremely good. Yeah. Ah, it's interesting. Almost looks like there's dust in there. That's strange. Surprised they let that through. Yeah, this is also classic. So stuff like this, just always look at what the brands are doing, and just try copying their style. And once you know how their style works, you can create your own style still, of course. I'm not telling you to copy their stuff, but copy it to learn from how they do it so you understand their mindset. And then your images will automatically just look more professional and more real. Because if I see this, I right away see that this is not an Audi render, because this is something Audi would never do. But yeah, that's just one thing. But super cool still, super cool. Also interesting. Okay, cool. Also something I've never did. Super cool. Okay, here's a part 2 with some improvements. Yeah, it's maybe a little bit better, but I already like the first one a lot also. Also super cool. Yeah, maybe the textures are too low res. And here it would also be interesting to have like crazy motion blur. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a big fan of motion blur. You're already noticing I'm talking about motion blur a lot. So here's same guy. Super cool. Perfect. maybe the shadows, once again, are too hard and the black isn't black enough. Especially this plastic is probably the same plastic as this, and it looks too different. So once again, on marketing shots, you want to represent the material so it can't look different in different angles. It always has to look like the real material. It's very important. And here I do like the black. So maybe these speakers are gray, but they seem a bit milky. This I like more, this black. But very cool. Oh, also super cool. Is this Blender? Also interesting. Huh. Super cool. Okay. Also super cool. I think I have to slowly speed through. Super cool. Way too much light from the bottom. Even if you do a shot from the bottom, I'd pretend that there's a floor, so there's like a bit darker because you don't want to show this stuff. And also maybe have a better texturing here. I don't know. Not just metal, but have like some texturing, roughness texturing. Here I see point lights were probably used. I'm not a fan of point lights. Always use area lights and stuff like that, or like real softbox textures or HDRs. Yeah, otherwise pretty cool. On real cars, often all lights are on, like depends, like the daytime lights. So this would probably be on a real shot, stuff like that. Okay, super cool. Nothing to critique. Very, very cool. Very cool. Very creative. What is this? Okay. Is this tracked? Yeah, flimmering noise, of course. You could render higher quality, but that's a performance thing. Very cool. Looks very realistic. I wonder how you did the camera, if it's tracked or if it's all rendered. Oh no, that was very bad. Okay, let's go back where we were. Where was I? How much is coming? I almost think there's way too much coming. Oh my god. Wait, where was I in the line? Oh no. Okay, here. So, wait, maybe I am further than I thought. Okay, let's see. I'll move faster, okay? Perfect. I don't know. What should I critique here? Perfect. Looks like a photo almost. Maybe this is too low res, the background, because this is like super crisp. This isn't crisp. It doesn't look like depth of field because I can see the pixels. Only critique. Otherwise, perfect. Once again, I'm not a fan of point lights. I'm not a fan of this type of hard shadow. But it's pretty cool how it's lowered and still super cool render. The background's a bit all over the place. Little stuff. Just look at real marketing shots and you'll learn. Whoa, the tires look extremely good. The tires look so good that the car paint doesn't look that good. Maybe the car paint is too blue because it's an unusual car paint. But maybe it's just like your choice. Maybe you wanted like a blue G-Class. Very cool. Still. Okay, now it's way better. This I really like. Not a marketing shot, but I really like it. Like the rims look really good. Like this is how rims should look like. But then there's a lack, like there's no sidewall stuff. This looks a bit strange, but still looks okay. Very good because it's not just white, the daytime light. Often the daytime lights look just white. Here they're not just white, so super good. Windows kind of missing. I don't know if it's really missing, but it looks like it's missing. The Chevrolet logo has to be like visible. Looks like it's a bit too dark. But otherwise, I really like the car paint. Also, lighting is very, very good, and the rim is extremely good. The rim is the best part of the whole render. Also very cool. Nothing really to critique, something I never do. Super interesting, very cool. Also cool. I wonder, is this 3D then? Not 100% sure if this belongs here, but I took a picture in Forza, okay, and framed it in Blender. Ah, that's interesting. Okay, so everything except this is Blender. That's pretty cool. Interesting idea. Okay, Hobbit Land, super cool. Yeah, it seems like work in progress with the dark sky. Maybe too many of the same flowers. You can have a few different flowers maybe. But otherwise, just very cool. Maybe if there's a background, it's probably pretty much finished. Color graded or something, it's probably good to go. Okay, super nice. Maybe a bit too yellow or too matte, or the clear coat is missing. But here, very nice shadow. Maybe the scale is off because this light looks a bit small. I'm not sure. Just things that I noticed. It seems like the car pops a bit out from the main image with this yellow. It seems like it's a bit too intense, or the clear coat is missing. I'm not sure. But it's really rendered very well, and I really like it. I really like the shadows. It looks really nice. I think it's really just the car paint that's a bit too popping. Like it can be yellow, but something's missing. I think it's the clear coat. Okay, another version. Still super nice. Still like the rims. Windows still missing. Okay, this, I think I remember this. This is a real photo. So here you can actually see. So here's also a very bright yellow car, but it has like some clear coat. And here it looks really nice. So this is very, very good photo. And also with humans, a lot of people that render stuff, they forget people. So you don't have to render people, but like Photoshop people in or use people in the backplate will look way more realistic and natural. Okay, also very interesting. I'm not sure if I like this type of background, but why not? It's very interesting. Not much to critique. Maybe this line could not just stop here. I don't know, little stuff. Looks very good. This looks extremely good. I'd say this is perfect, except the shadow is not symmetric. I'm not sure. If this would be perfectly symmetric, I think then it's perfect. Very, very nice. Who made this? Oh, so extremely good. Modeled in Blender, rendered in 3ds Max Corona. That's fine. Very, very good. What is this? Okay, car animation. Yeah, interesting. Camera. Maybe some shake on the camera. Maybe also a little bit shake on the camera. The flare or the bloom was very nice here. Okay, I guess there's shake on the camera or on the car, but I'm not sure. Maybe too soft. Has to be a bit more like vibrating. But super cool. Like the look, the render quality, very good. Maybe the blue is too blue for my eyes, but very, very cool. Yeah, this render. No, and this, very, very cool tires. Maybe too smooth, maybe a bit more roughness. Seems like the GT RS3 it is, I think, is a bit too high from the floor. I don't know if the real one is this high. I think maybe the tires are too big. I don't know. Seems like it's a bit high. I'm not sure, but it's super nice. I don't know. It looks very nice. Very cool. I like it. Very, very good. The carbon is maybe too gray, not black enough. I'm not sure if the real one is this bright. I'm not sure, but also very cool. Also very interesting. Maybe these stripes, so these 3 stripes of the Mustang are very, very dominant. And you can't really determine these 3 stripes because I actually watched a design video on this Mustang when it like came out, and these 3 stripes are very, very important. So maybe you could have like a more focus that these are really 3 stripes, not kind of like all over the place. I guess these are reflections, maybe make it more rough, I don't know. But just that the 3 lines are more like visible. Little thing. Yeah, this guy again, he's doing perfect renders. Like definitely go check out his Instagram. This guy is doing next level stuff. Like this is like perfect. Okay. Who is getting long? I hope I'm almost through, but I think I'm almost through. So very, very good. I really don't like this reflection, I guess, coming from the rocks. These rocks are cool. I would leave them, but you could have some, maybe a puddle, I don't know, maybe it's too hard to make, or some dirt or something, you know, it's too clean. It looks too much like 3D. Also, this wall looks, I don't even know if the wall is 3D, might even be the photo, but this is also too chunky, too 3D-ish. I think you need something in between, maybe little grass in the edge or something that kind of connects this flat 3D looking rock to something realistic. So I have a bit dirt and maybe some grass in the edge and little things. You can also Photoshop this stuff, but the car is really nice. Perfect. You turn on the lights. Most people forget that. Very good. So most cars should look alive when they're sold. So they're like in their on state. They don't have to have like headlights on, but they have like daytime lights on. They're in their on state, and fuel gauge are on. The air vent flaps are down, stuff like that. And the engine depends on the client, but the engine usually is on. So on 1,000 RPM about. Little stuff like that, so the car looks alive. So this is very nice. This car does look alive, so very good. And tires perfectly tilted into the camera. Very nice. These back tires often are blacked out, but this is still okay. And here's a little hole, I think, but I'm not sure what that is. Tiny things, but very good. Super interesting. I guess like sharks following the taxi tractor. I don't know. Very interesting. Very cool. Nothing to critique. Here, I'm not a fan of this super smooth environment. You can have reflections in the floor, but maybe keep the reflections only on the floor and don't make everything reflective, not the whole room. Also, if you look at real photo studios, they often set the car on like a round disc, so they have the reflection, but the whole room is matte white. Like the photo dome is like matte white. It's like either stone if they're big or like fabric, depends on the studio size. Okay, very interesting. I think I'm missing some clear coat here, and the tires definitely need some roughness, and also maybe like a dust layer on the profile, like on the top and like around, like where it rolls, have some dust that will look way better. Yeah, very good. I think these rims usually have like a clear coat. I think they're not matte, but little stuff. Very good. Also very good. Of course, floor is missing. Clear coat is missing. Have a bit more roughness in the metallic. I'd say the window could have some reflection somewhere, so you see it's a smooth window and not just a grayish looking plastic. The rims are rarely chrome, so to everyone, really look at real rims. They have this aluminum look, almost like a gray car paint, with a clear coat. Mostly, they're usually aluminum. I'm not sure about this Ferrari if they're really chrome. Some cars do have chrome, like Corvette has chrome rims. Some have chrome, but it's very, very rare. And for me, it looks a bit cheap if they have chrome rims. Like a good rendered aluminum wheel usually looks better. The rear lights are very nice. I like the look of this. I don't like the look of the bloom once again. So another angle. Yeah, so I see you've got some texture here. It looks pretty good, but I think I still have like just a bit lighter, you know? So it's not like as black, so it looks like it actually rolled somewhere. The floor looks very wet. The car isn't wet at all. I don't know. It's fine, I guess. There's too much noise on this. Or I guess it's just a render noise, maybe. I'm not sure. Here I can see polygons. Little tweaking stuff. You probably know yourself when you look at it, but yeah, the bumps are too strong. Polygons, little stuff. But I really like the general lighting. I like the stark room. I like the floor. Generally, I really like it. It's little tweaking here and there. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. I like the colors. I guess like a super tuned Porsche 911 or something. Very interesting. Pretty cool. Okay, another one. We've seen this. Same reviews. Okay, very interesting. I've never seen a car in the middle of like grass fields with flowers. Super cool. Very interesting. Is this all of this 3D? This is like, if this is 3D, I don't know. It's very, very good. Super cool. Windows and seats and everything's missing. I didn't even notice on first glance. But very, very cool. Very interesting material. Watch out that you don't get this bending in the anisotropic reflection or whatever you would call it. This bending the client will not like. Have like disc very straight anisotropic. I don't know, it's called reflection, anisotropic reflection. Don't have these bends. That's like the main thing I'm noticing. Keep them straight. Too dark like in the back. You have to like see the whole watch probably. Maybe you can have some textures here. Here polygons are freaking out a little bit like your normals. Little stuff, tweaking. But generally already very good. Maybe have a higher focal length. Like once again, if we go, I don't have Rolex open again. But if you go on Rolex, they probably have a very high focal length. Actually, also, I think on the Rolex web page, they have very good renders. What are all these pages? Here. I think they have very good renders. Okay, they're using 3D by now. I actually didn't know because Rolex took real photos forever. This is interesting. So this is how they do it. More renders. I think this is new. I don't remember them rendering stuff. Actually, these aren't that great with the shadows. Wow, this is next level. This is probably a real camera. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so your angle. I think you need a higher focal length. So you see here, I think it's just a bit higher focal length. Yours is a bit too wide angle. And maybe you just copy their look. I don't know. Because yours is a bit kind of, I don't know. Yeah, unusual, I'd say. Not bad, just unusual. This is a more usual position of a watch, I guess. But yeah, still very cool. Also super cool. Oh, this looks extremely good. The leather, everything perfect. Reflections. I'd say this is actually very, very good. This I really like. This is perfect. Cybertruck, very cool. Cybertruck is a funny topic because everyone always says how easy it is. Actually, I think to like model a perfect Cybertruck and render a Cybertruck is actually quite hard because it's actually very, very detailed, and you have to get all the proportions perfectly right so it looks like the real deal. And these headlights are actually more complex than you might think. Everything's actually more complex than you might think. And also the wheels are like actual wheels. They're not simpler. You still have to like make actual rubber and everything. So this is actually a very interesting car to see once again. Yeah, always good to practice Cybertruck because it's kind of like practicing rendering a cube very well. It's kind of like modeling a Cybertruck, just like modeling it detailed and modeling like the real thing. It's actually pretty hard. Okay, very cool car. Very cool style. Very cool. Interesting. Of course, you could improve like on the visual quality. And you say test render, but still very, very cool. Looks cool. Okay, some more ArcViz. Yeah, I'd say perfect. I'm like not the crazy ArcViz guy, but everything I know about ArcViz is applied here, vertical lines and everything. Looks super nice. You could definitely start earning money with that. Maybe I know it looks more realistic, but maybe it looks too dirty for like a client. But very, very good. More ArcViz. You could definitely start earning money with this as well. I know a lot of clients don't like this stuff. They rather have the chair just like positioned like there, but always depends on the client. Also perfect. You could definitely start working in that area if you're not already working in that area. If this is 3D, which I think, if I look at the water, this is super cool. I've never seen a render like this. This is super, super cool. Actually, I think you could improve on the water. I'm not sure what you did here. You could also use like the ocean modifier. I don't know if you used that. Usually looks pretty good. There's also on Blender Market, I think there's a ocean shader that's pretty good. That's like the only thing. You could maybe improve on the ocean, but otherwise really, really cool. Okay, same deal, but rendered. Like it looks perfect. Once again, like I'm annoyed by the background, but very, very good. Of course, now that you rendered it like as an animation, you would expect the grass to move and maybe the tree. But yeah, crazy. Very, very high quality. Okay, super cool. The cape. Yeah, why not? It's cool. I like it. I like the smoke. I really like the smoke. I assume you photoshopped this. It looks very good. Okay, we saw this. We didn't see this. I'm just going to start flying over stuff. Also very cool. What's this? Another video. Okay. Extremely good. Oh, the tires. The car paint almost looked bumpy. You have to watch out. That doesn't look bumpy from the flakes. Extremely good. This is like almost perfect. Oh, the carbon. Carbon maybe is too big, like in size. I think it has to be a bit smaller, but very, 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 very good. Somehow we can't see our YouTube channel. Huh, didn't load, so here. Very, very good. Very, very good. Okay. Let's look at this. Yeah, I guess you can just improve on the visual quality. The butterflies are pretty interesting. Very high quality texture, but the animation isn't. So that's like the thing. If the animation isn't as high quality or detailed as the texture, then it can look cheap. So maybe improve the animation. I never really looked at a butterfly, but I think a butterfly has like a not just a simple motion. So improve on that, maybe it's really your animation skills, but look pretty cool, very interesting, also very inspiring. Wow, this is crazy, also super inspiring, very, very cool. Nothing to critique here, just an art piece. This actually is going towards real AMG renders. It's not as high quality and the suspension is squeezed way too hard, but this is a very good attempt. I really like this. Very cool. Yeah, it's just a bit too extreme. Like the position is too extreme, but it's getting there. Just practice a bit more. Just look at real renders, like from AMG and from the real G class and their real campaigns, and try to learn from their campaigns, and you'll be able to improve. Ah yeah, see, you're already improved. Wait, is this a photo? Ah, okay. Or is this a render? No, this must be a photo. If this is a render, it's extremely good, but it's probably a photo. Super nice style. Super cool. I had this car. So cool to see my car once again. Very cool. Next level leather. If you made this leather, definitely start selling it. Very, very good. Super cool. I don't like the rocks and how it's like transitioning into the world a little bit. I think maybe have some grass stuff that kind of breaks up this area and this line. Super cool. If you want to like make it feel more like that you want to like actually go there, maybe don't make this room so dark. It looks a bit creepy, but maybe that's also what you were going for. You could have maybe some depth of field. So this is a bit blurred, but this looks so nice that I would almost not even want to blur this, but it might be distracting like from the house, especially because it's quite bright. But otherwise, very cool. And also your wood boards are maybe too big compared like to the bed. I don't know, like your scaling is maybe a bit off, but little stuff. Very, very cool. Yeah, once again, crazy renders. Perfect. Interesting. So all the bottles are way too high. But the camera is good. Like the position of the camera is pretty good. Maybe just shift it. So don't move the camera. Go to the camera settings. There's X and Y shift. Shift the Y a little bit down. Okay. Here's your leather couch. Very cool. I really like the retro vintage kind of style. Super cool. Okay, I guess this got improved. Oh, I think it looked better before, but at least you improved the jagginess here. But the car paint looks a bit strange here now. What's this? Okay, make it big. Oh, that was cool how the lights went on. That's cool. Even though the lights don't go on this way. So like also if you would ever work like for BMW, you have to do it perfect. Like just like the real lights. But still very cool. Also looks like high frame rate. So also like most animations, so high frame rate is always cool, but most animations are like 24 frames per second or 25, because 30 or more or even 60 start to look like games. So if you want like the cinematic look, usually it's like 24 or 25 frames. This is your weakest part actually. Everything else looked a bit better than your rear. Yeah, I don't like your rear lights. Maybe look at the real, was it M4? I didn't even look. Yeah, M4. Look at real M4 rear lights. Try to improve those. Maybe less bloom. And will look very good. Perfect. Your logo here. Perfect. I see you learned. Very, very good. Perfect. This is perfect. You could start selling this straight away. Perfect. Very, very, very good. You could maybe add a slight shadow, slight reflection. I don't know. You could. But some clients also like the super white, just white. So that's not really a critique, just an idea. Perfect. Nothing to improve. Did you make this also? This is super cool. You should also like post like this stuff. I don't know if you guys like post stuff on Reddit, but like this stuff, definitely post this on Reddit, like on the Blender Reddit. Like some could go viral. Also very, very interesting. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to review anything here. Maybe this is like too much the same. Like maybe have like some dirt in the corners, stuff like this. This is too just white. Like a lot of people tend to do this. I do this also sometimes when I'm lazy, but like this just white just looks unrealistic. So have something there, you know, like don't just make emission shader onto it, like have real lights in there, a little bit, something, you know, so like glows unevenly, maybe through the plastic or whatever this is. Maybe look at real lights, improve that, but it looks really cool. Also see you've got like some kind of like color fringing, maybe. It looks very good. Yeah, color fringing. Very good. Perfect render. I see you cheated with the texture, I think, but that's totally fine. Looks very, very good. Often cheating is just the better way than like actually making a crazy shader. Really good. definitely, if this isn't the official job, because I don't know why you would just model this for fun, but maybe you did. This looks very good. Okay, crazy spoiler, crazy car in general, very cool stance. It's a very cool car. This is super nice. I think your motion blur is not following the flow perfectly. You could improve your motion blur, especially these lines, of course, will have motion blur, you know? You have like more motion blur here than like on your lines. And of course the rims, I don't know like what state this is. Here. Yeah, perfect. So you improved some stuff. The color grading is too intense. Too much color, too much craziness, too much flare, sun, everything. But just little tweaking. You've got too much glow. I assume you probably use the shadow catcher or something. I really don't recommend using shadow catchers because you get this stuff. So your car looks like it's floating or got photoshopped in. That's my only review, but the car is super cool. Okay, what is this? Okay, tracking. Someone tracked something here. Can't really see it here. Sorry for skipping. Super cool. Maybe some more contrast. Yeah, I could start reviewing stuff, but like it's not really worth it. It's really cool. I really like it. I think just like the general render is missing like color range. It's kind of like squeezed into the grayish sector. Maybe just have a bit more range. Like the white goes more into the white, the black goes more into the black. Just have like more contrast. So I guess someone even reviews something here. Yeah, very cool. Good to see iPhones. If you want to make money now, model iPhones, sell iPhones. Maybe you already missed the wave. I bet if we go on TurboSquid right now, I bet it's already there. That's how you can definitely make money. I don't have like much experience, but I'm pretty sure that's how you can make money. If you're like the first one selling the models on TurboSquid, you're gonna make money. But I see a lot of people already had that idea, so it's very important to be the very, very first. Yeah, so very interesting. I hope you're selling. Oh wait, these are wrong. So these guys probably went too early. They made it before it was published. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting that the top phone is actually not the real iPhone 12. It's wrong colors, it's wrong camera, it's completely wrong. Interesting. Yeah, they were just like the first people. So I guess the market is very harsh. I bet you're going to fight with a lot of people. Yeah, super cool. Very cool render. Maybe too blurry on the back side because I think it's like perfect glass. I don't know actually if it is, but I think it's perfect glass. That's the only thing. Very nice. Very cool, except the car doesn't drift this way. Of course, the car has to drift the other way. So if it rolls like this looks like the car's starting to understeer and go out of the picture and crash into these stone things. So flip the car. So, you know, like it's the wrong way. You don't drift this way. It's like drifting. It's hard to explain. It's drifting the wrong way. So yeah, it's drifting the wrong way. But otherwise, super cool. Super cool image. I think the colors in the background don't really match the car. So match the world of colors a bit more. So it fits into the world. But I really like the style still and cool car. Also super cool. Oh, I'm already talking for so long, man. Almost over. Can't even talk anymore. Super cool. Looks a bit gamey, but like human stuff is always super hard to make. I'm also not great at it. Super cool. What should I critique here? Very cool. Oh, fly. Once again, Mr. Drifting the wrong way. So if this car was drifting, it's drifting the right way, but the front tires have to roll like this way. It's slipping on the front tires, and this car would just go straight off the cliff. So this drifting direction is okay if it drifts forward, of course, but the front wheels have to be turned the other way. This won't work. But I still really like how it's rendered. I really like how it looks. I really like the style. Looks pretty cool. It's really just the tires are the wrong way. Yeah, work in progress, I guess. Looks cool. I really like the background. I guess this is a backdrop render. Looks very good. The thing I like the least are the rear lights. Always an issue. Hard topic. Maybe I'll make a tutorial on rear lights. Let's see. Okay, here's final render. Okay, you saved the rear lights actually extremely well. Wow. Okay, just from color grading, they look way better. Very good. It seems like you're a very good color grader because getting it from here to here, not bad. This looks way more realistic than here. So you've definitely got a color grading talent here. That's probably also why this looks so good, because you're so good at color grading. Interesting. I'd like to see the real render of this. Yeah, you're very good at color grading. Finally, almost the marketing shot. This really, you could improve the quality a little bit, and the wheel is tilted the wrong way, so the rim has to be tilted into the camera. No one wants to see the inside of the tire, but this is more of a marketing style render, actually. I really like this. This is pretty cool. And also very cool. So some hard surface modeling. Yeah. Perfect. Of course, the rendering isn't great. You can improve the rendering. You probably know that. But the model is very, very cool. I have no idea what it is. A connector. From a daily prompt connector. No idea. But super cool. And I actually made it. Whew. I think it's now 1 hour and 35 minutes. I made it. I hope I didn't fly over some of the renders too fast, but there was just way too much. And I rather have everyone in the video than skipping people and talking more on other images. Maybe I can do like a version of Spit on Your Work of like the best work, or maybe somehow people can vote for work and I review like the best work. I don't know. Still, I just want to fly over everything, even if this video is long. For the people that care about this topic, I think they don't care if it's long. So for me, it was important to review all your images, all great images, and every image that isn't that great. That doesn't mean like you should stop 3D or something. That's all about getting better, improving. Like if I look at my stuff, I also don't think it's that great. So it's just keep going, just keep practicing, keep learning. Try learning from the best and the pros. So look at the real brands, look at what the pros are doing, and try copying their style to understand how they're thinking. And then you'll think their way, and then you will just instantly really improve your stuff. And also, it seemed like most things I reviewed weren't even that technical. Like I didn't really have many like technical reviews. It's really the biggest lack I noticed, like over all images, is the marketing aspect. So if you like go to the Audi page or whatever page, you just see there's so much thought in the composition, in the marketing. Also, I know that there's one, a very cool one. Or not a super cool one, but I always liked this one. Let's see if we can find it, if I can spell right. Oh, I keep clicking on this. Where is it? So here. So I assume most people wouldn't render it like this. So can we open it? Yeah. So look, this is what a marketing shot looks like. You see there's people, they're interacting, there's emotions. And every car has their world, so they make a marketing campaign. It's like a corporate identity per car. And basically, they live in this world. So certain cars, I don't know about the Touareg, aren't allowed to be shown in the dark, for example. Or certain cars are always in the dark and stuff like that. Or certain cars are always urban. Certain cars are always countryside. Stuff like that. Certain cars are always South Africa. And they have like these campaigns, these corporate identities, and try to learn these corporate identities. You probably can't really Google what they are because they're like usually top secret, but you can just see it in their images. So take a car, try to learn from this car, learn from the whole campaign that this brand did, and just learn everything. Try to understand what they tried to do here and try copying it. And that, I think, is the biggest thing that's lacking on all the renders, is this marketing aspect. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's like if I wanted to like sum up this whole video, that's what's missing mainly, this marketing aspect. And if you have that, and the quality isn't that good of your render, it will automatically still look way better. Because like how to do better lighting and all this stuff, you can just learn over time. But this campaign stuff, of course, also, but this is really something you just have to practice. You just have to copy, practice, understand until you get this mindset. And then you'll automatically be way better. So this was a very exhausting video. I can't even talk anymore. My throat is getting super dry. But yeah, that's it for today. Next week or maybe this week, I don't know, when I have time, I'm going to make another tutorial. I don't know what it will be about. Maybe AR, actually, I really want to do. I think actually AR will come next. Let's see. So that's it. See you guys next time. Goodbye.